Introduction. The real and the unreal. When you look at the natural world, don't you think how beautiful it is? All the bounties of nature, vision, sound, and symmetry laid before us like an immeasurable feast for the senses. So much of our world is beautiful too. Art, architecture, technology, toys, food, these all delight the mind, the soul, and the senses. But above this beauty, we all know it, we can see it. Threatening to eclipse and extinguish it is a growing darkness that we cannot contain. War, debt, imprisonment, violence, abuse, corruption, these all stain our world, often increasing, seemingly without end. Our world, the world of the West, of freedom and philosophy, trade and democracy, is hanging by a thread. Greece burns, riots escalate, birth rates plummet, the youth flee, currencies dissolve, economies collapse, unemployment swells, prisons expand, families crack and break apart. The deaths of the dead strangle the unborn. Come on, we all want to fix what is broken, but you must have noticed that every solution we try just seems to make things worse. We try to solve the problem of poverty and create a permanent underclass. We wanted less economic inequality, now we have more. We created institutions to achieve economic stability, but still suffer through endless booms and busts. We tried to get rid of drugs and drug use expanded. We wanted to give kids a good education and end up with record dropout rates, illiteracy, and the forced drugging of children. We tried to help people save for their old age, only to hand them empty IOUs that enslave their children. What keeps going so terribly wrong? Well, when every problem we try to solve gets worse, everything we think we know must be re-examined. When our freedoms turn into chains, when wealth drowns in debt, when education devolves into indoctrination, when national defense becomes foreign invasion, when money becomes counterfeiting and security degrades into kidnapping and imprisonment, we need to stop what we are doing, admit we are lost, and re-examine our map, our moral map. If we keep going south when we want to go north, our map is most likely upside down. When all our good intentions turn to evil, our definitions of virtue and vice are almost certainly backwards. Part 1. The world is a prison of words. The beginning of wisdom is to call things by their proper names. Of all the tools we have invented, words are the most powerful, the most productive, and the most dangerous. Words can classify, identify, conceptualize, abstract, beautify. But words have a darker side as well. Words can organize rational similarities, but words can also create false divisions. Us versus them. Citizen versus immigrant. Tyrant versus leader, terrorist versus freedom fighter, money versus paper. Through the slippery genius of language, crimes can be redefined as virtues, virtues as vices, enslavement as obedience, brute hierarchies as society, assaults on children as discipline. Euphemisms, misdirections, reversals, and outright lies infest our minds, bewildering, confusing, and isolating us. If we are to change the downward spiral of our world, we must escape from the fog of false words to the reality of reason and truth. Just think of the words that surround you that have no connection to anything real or tangible or true or good. You say you are an American, a Canadian, Danish, Iranian, or Australian. What is that? What is a country? A country is land, water, plains, and mountains, and something called borders that exist only in our minds, in drawings, in words. A beach is where the ocean meets the land, a real division. A country is a color on a map, an imaginary enclosure of legal containment. Countries arise when warlords run up against other warlords they cannot conquer, or when they have mostly finished killing off or enslaving the indigenous population. Countries are the chalk outlines of bodies, of ancient and modern crimes. Countries are the fences around farms, designed to keep you, the citizen, in place. When you go from one country to another, what changes? Not the color of the sky, your hairdo, or the laws of physics. No. All that changes are the enforced rules called laws, and the rulers who are legally allowed to enforce them. Countries are regions where the power of particular political rulers holds sway. They are land controlled by governments. When you say, "I am an American," what you're really saying is that you are ruled by the American government. It would be more accurate to say, "I am the property of the American government," or "proud livestock of the English tax farm." If dairy cows could talk, they would say, "I am owned by Farmer Jones," or "I am kept on the Jones farm." How is it different for you? This is the great danger of words. Countries are places where a tiny minority can use force to make you obey their words, called laws. In a country, you must obey the millions of constantly changing words, or you will be kidnapped and caged. It doesn't matter how many words there are, or whether it's even possible to know them all. You can be locked up for disobeying the unknowable at any time. These magic words can convert people from honest citizen to evil criminal at the stroke of a pen. In 1933, in America, it was legal to own gold and illegal to drink alcohol. The next year, it was legal to drink alcohol and illegal to own gold. Who alone has the power to do this? The state. The state is a group of individuals with a monopoly on the legal use of violence. And it is only words that blind us from seeing this basic truth. Words have the dangerous power to obscure the moral reality of the state. The word law sounds better than force. Social contract sounds better than enforced obedience. Taxation sounds better than theft. Central banking sounds better than counterfeiting. Corporation sounds better than legal immunity. Arrest sounds better than kidnapping. National debt sounds better than selling off the unborn. Democracy sounds better than mob rule. Public school sounds better than forced indoctrination. Sorry, what's that? You say you are free because you live in a democracy?